So, with that, picturing a world in which Messi and Ronaldo meet up at the end of their careers and have legendary clashes for the MLS Cup, where do we think Ronaldo will land? Where could he land?
So,
Ryan, do you have a list of potential places or thoughts?
yeah, I got highest earning and most valuable MLS clubs in this past season and right
Okay.
now. So there's five on the list, and some of them are what you expect. The most valuable MLS club for a third consecutive year, LAFC, $1.2 billion. Ronaldo's net worth is more than this club, but I mean, $1.2 billion is what the club is valued at. And obviously, we know that they are capable of getting high quality talent, especially from Europe, aka
Yeah.
Heung-Min Son, aka Olivier Giroud, which I can't believe I said high quality European talent and Giroud in the same sentence. But LAFC, one of those clubs that could absolutely afford him.
Yeah, and that was my first idea yesterday when this was initially brought up and we were imagining where he could land. LAFC is a squad that consistently wins. They've put themselves in really good spots, as you were talking about, and took the words right out of my mouth. They've proven that they can already land some top end talent. Also, you just think about the location too. And I think that this is an important part of this conversation. You know, someone to the level of Cristiano Ronaldo, if he's moving to the United States, Messi to Miami makes sense. There's a large Hispanic culture in Miami. Obviously, the soccer culture is very healthy in Southern Florida. So there was a lot kind of adding up to Messi's a great fit. I mean, fits like a glove in a place like Miami. So I think, if anything, the location being Los Angeles and obviously the star power and the names and everything that comes with LA being a sports town, I just feel like that would be a natural landing spot for someone with the international acumen that someone like Cristiano Ronaldo has. You know, you talk about kind of launching yourself in Hollywood. If you live in LA, it's a really good start. I mean, I feel like every influencer and their cousin has a place out in Los Angeles. So Ronaldo would be right in the mix. And then obviously you have everything that comes with California living. So I think that would be outside of the soccer component and obviously how much the club is valued. I just think LA might be a fun spot for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo's enjoyed the California area in the past. Um, just putting it out there. He's enjoyed the LA California area in the
There's
past. I think it'd be a very good move for him as well.
yeah.
Number two, Inter Miami, $1.2 billion it's worth, and they've led the league in revenue, $180 million this past year, and operating income as well at 50 million. So I mean, it's only going to go up too with Miami,
This
and
is
you got David
like,
Beckham.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's just one of the more inconceivable things. Like, seeing two of the athletes who, individually speaking, have just been the biggest rivals throughout the course of their career. And it is the one conversation where if you were to start talking about Ronaldo v Messi, is like, I mean, it's going to blow up. I mean, it's like a kettle cooker. Like, it warms to until it's too hot and it explodes. Because it is the biggest debate in the sport. So picturing a world in which those two team up, and both sides of the aisle, Messi fans and Ronaldo fans, are forced to accept the fact that their gods in a lot of ways are playing on the same team, is just something that's just inconceivable to me. I know that Miami is obviously capable of hiring him. I know that Miami is capable of bringing him on, but is that something that is even a remote possibility? Does Ronaldo have the ability to put his ego aside and go, "Yeah, I'll play with Messi"? I don't think he does. Frankly, I don't think Messi cares, and maybe I'm wrong in assuming that. Maybe this means just as much to Messi as it does to Ronaldo. I don't think it does. I think Messi understands who he is, but I don't. It's one of the more inconceivable things. I could never see those two teaming up. Genuinely.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it's a long shot, but I think for every soccer fan out there, they would absolutely love to see it. I also don't. I also think we talk about Ronaldo being in control of decisions. I think Messi has a lot of control and pull, especially in Inter Miami.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
obviously, I think he would veto veto that move a little bit. But number three, another LA team, the other one, the LA Galaxy, valued at just over $1 billion. They've had superstars in the past: Zlatan Ibrahimovic, David Beckham, obviously coming over, even getting him to come over. Landon Donovan was on the squad, and then there was one more. Oh, Marco Royce. Marco Royce is on the squad now, which, if you talk about unlucky players and players to never win anything, that is one of them. And he's been very good for such a long time and never won anything. Even when Germany won the 2014 World Cup, he got injured just beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, I would, for all the same reasons, for all the same reasons that I said that, the other LA team might be a good fit for Ronaldo is probably the same reasons why I would say this organization would be a good fit. And you talked about, most importantly, maybe the track record of the players that they have had. So that's something they certainly have going for them, that they could put on the table if they want to seriously inquire about bringing Ronaldo on. But I just those are the two areas really of the country that I automatically think it's either going to be Florida or California or one of those other top end clubs. I'm interested to see who else you have on the list, but I think for a lot of the same reasons, I'd say they would be a good landing spot. But obviously, the history and the resume that they already have behind them would certainly help too.
Yep, I think you think of a superstar in any sport, you think of going to LA.
Yeah,
This one might be a little bit surprising, but based on them being a new club and or within recent years, within the decade or so,
yeah,
Atlanta United, they're valued at just over a
mm,
billion as well, but they have a really good following in Atlanta. I mean, they play in the Mercedes Benz Stadium, so it fits a ton of people as it is. Now with the MLS calendar switching, I'm sure that they're gonna have to build a new stadium at some point because that's gonna
yeah.
align with the NFL. But yeah, no, that is the fourth club that could afford him.
Yeah, and a big market too. I mean, that's something to remember is that in terms of major U.S. markets, I mean, Atlanta is up there in the sports world, and they just have such a large reach because of their presence and their foothold in the South. Because there's not as many pro teams in the South as there is necessarily
No,
in the
it's all
Midwest,
colleges.
or it's all colleges, right? So I think that if they get someone like Ronaldo, obviously they're going to be able to build their fan base all the way down, maybe not to Florida, because I'm assuming most of those people are Messi fans, but really throughout they could gain a pretty strong foothold in the South. It's a great market. It's right next door to Florida, right? So Messi's right down the road, so you could clearly see a rivalry developing. It's already a rivalry, but you know what I mean. Within the league, they're going to see each other a little bit more often. So the market, I think, obviously they have the means to be able to sign him. So I think Atlanta could certainly be a good spot. As long as, I mean, obviously, as long as Ronaldo thinks that they're able to compete right away. I think that's something else that we talked about. Yeah, he wants the money, but I think more than that, he wants to land at a club that he knows can go out and probably win some games right away. He doesn't want to go to a squad that's struggling or can't keep up. So Atlanta is competitive. They're growing. The amount of money they have is obviously, if you're valued at $1 billion, you can figure something out. And also just, in terms of sports markets, again, Atlanta is another one of those hot spots in the United States. So I think it could make a good spot for him. Frankly, I think it might make a better spot for him than even Los Angeles would, and certainly Miami. So I don't know where I put it on the list, but I think it's towards the top.
No, I think when I was looking at this list, I thought, wow, Atlanta is a little bit surprising, but then you pull it back a little bit. Good market, as you mentioned. They have a
Hmm.
history of really losing in that town as it is anyway, so it fit well with Ronaldo. And then obviously they have a really good following. But will
Yeah.
be the last one, and again, this is you think of superstars, you think of this city, NYCFC, New York City FC. They're
Mm.
valued at just under $1 billion, but they've had superstars in the past: Andre Pirlo, Frank Lampard. I think that might be it. I think it might be it of all the
Mm.
superstars. But they also have technically had Christian Pulisic in their academy. They technically had a Gio Reyna in their academy. But they're a club that is continuously or has continued to grow over the years and produce a lot of talent and buy a lot of talent. And then you got to surround them with New
Yeah.
York. Would he be a Yankees fan or a Mets fan? Probably a Mets fan, if you're being completely honest.
He'd probably be a Yankees fan just because that's what you're supposed to do. Like the Yankees hat is like it's like a fashion thing. Like
I
people aren't
agree.
even Yankees fans. They're just like, oh, it's just a cool look at. Like I see it at the store all the time, and I'm like, no, stop wearing that garbage. Anyways, no, I the Big Apple, of course. I think of course I think it could be a great spot for him. If I'm not mistaken, isn't aren't they getting a new stadium too? I'm
I
fairly certain that they're
I think a
getting a new
lot of these
stadium.
teams are getting new stadiums just because
Okay,
of the scheduling and stuff. Because some of them play in
right.
NFL stadiums.
Yeah. So, I mean, to that point, I'm sure Mercedes-Benz Stadium could sell a billion tickets if Ronaldo's coming to town and playing. So that was even something that I didn't even think about during the Atlanta conversation. But maybe could convince him with the new facilities. And again, I mean, you talk about the prime spots, and the New York is the place. I mean, to use a basketball example, right? Like we call Madison Square Garden the Mecca. Like that is the Mecca of basketball. The Knicks haven't won an NBA championship since the 70s. Like,
I love
but
that stat.
it doesn't matter because it's New York. That's why it's the Mecca, because of the media, because of the stars, because of everyone that, I mean, you look at the section by the court during the playoffs. I mean, you got everybody down there, all the stars, all the celebrities, and they all literally sit in one big bunch. So again, outside of LA, in terms of star power, New York is that place. And so I think if there's a place or a part of the country here in the US that would immediately embrace Ronaldo, and it would be almost like a cultural movement, it would be New York. So that is the mecca in American sports, regardless of whether or not they're good. I would say the same thing about the Giants and the Jets. There's a reason why that's a big talking point every year, and they talk about it on ESPN all the time because they realize that there's 7 billion people in New York, and they they all care about sports, and they're all in on their teams. That's just the city. New York is just a different beast. So I think Ronaldo has the star power to be able to not just handle a place like New York, but kind of become frontline news in the Big Apple.